Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another commentary episode. I think this is the third in a row I've done now. I think it's probably one of my best streaks for sure. Of course, I'm omitting megasodes, but hopefully my audio's. Oh, I might have. Let me catch that first before it becomes an issue. Well, I mean, I guess it already was, but anywho, back with another episode. Looks like I ended on a high note. I don't know, pun intended. Actually, there was a little bit, but anyway. Oh yeah, the burning forest as well. Casual burning forest. But anyway, it's been another few days since my last episode, so I wanted to do another commentary. I just felt like doing one. I don't got much really to talk about. Like generally, I'll probably just riff off ideas that I get. So I guess that's usually what I do for the most part, but I guess a good starting point for conversation is the YouTubes. Things have been going wild over there. Well, I've been taking some time off to focus on school. It's nice to see the channel picking up a little bit. I've done this series for uh, getting close to a year and a half. I'm dating myself already, but a year and a half I've just about been doing the journey to the Farlands. And I know 5 million is not quite as far as I may have hoped to have been by now, but it's certainly better than quitting the journey. That's some way through. So I commend myself on that effort. I'm sure many of you guys also, as I've seen the comments. But yeah, it's been quite the haul getting here. Of course, I'm glad people are tuning in to leave their positive messages. It definitely helps me stay motivated, of course. Well, not that I'm not motivated, but it just helps make me or put me in a better mood, whenever I see a positive comment about things or just people engaging in general. Actually, it doesn't even have to be, it can be neutral, but it's good to see. It's good to see all the engagement and all that jazz. It's something I don't really talk about all that often, mostly because it hasn't really happened up to this point a crazy amount. There's been select episodes of mine that have, of course, gotten a lot of views, and by a lot, I mean like the most viewed episode or not episode, but it was Old Craft. It had 2,000 views, which that blew me away. I think I was on my, I don't remember if I was on my trip during that or something, but I just remember going back to check YouTube Studio every time, and it just keep rising, and that was just surreal. So yeah, I do appreciate everyone tuning in, and I do mean that because yeah, I've seen it. It's still continuing. Every episode is getting a lot of views, and of course, there's only like a few who actually watch more than like the first 30 seconds or few seconds for a lot of people, I'm sure. But I still appreciate the the curiosity at first, anyway. Can't say I would be able to stomach this whole series. Stomach, it's like this is like something that's sickening, but I don't know if I'd be able to sit through this entire series. So if there are people who do watch these episodes and get some kind of enjoyment out of it, then that makes me feel very happy. But enough of the sappy stuff. It's got a long way to go, and I'm not gonna get anywhere just by talking. God, I'm starting to sound like TFC now. TFC would always crack jokes like that. But I'm not getting anywhere by talking. Well, I kind of am, though, am I? It's kind of a counterpoint, but anywho. What's the news? Well, my last episode was a 3-hour episode, which is rather unheard of for me recently, doing longer videos. I mean, I did do a 4, I think, if even a 5-hour this month, earlier in the month, but yeah, it's still crazy nonetheless. I do have some time off after school's over. After not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that, I'll be probably picking up pace with, of course, not just Journey to the Farlands, probably some other stuff too. I'll probably go back to Newcraft, and I don't know about hardcore. I might try and make it one episode a week, but Newcraft I'm kind of hoping will take its place for now. Just because I'm at very similar points in both series. It was kind of bad planning on my part. I didn't realize I'd be starting at SMP after Magnum Opus, which was kind of what I felt to be the nail in the coffin. Well, actually, I think that's a whole discussion on its own when things kind of ended for me for SMPs. But I kind of thought that was the long end of things. I was just like, I'm not really gonna do one. I didn't really envision me doing another one, at least so soon as Newcraft has come along. But it's I guess it's also a bit surreal to be talking about Newcraft, because I started this series talking about Newcraft and now I'm back talking about Newcraft, even though they are two different Newcrafts, by the way, just to clear confusion in case anyone has watched that series. I don't know if anyone has, but it's a fun series. I'd check it out. Well, the new stuff, not the old stuff. The old stuff is rough. Well, it's not that it's like bad quality, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll put it like that. It's all right. It is. But no, the new stuff I've been doing, I'm really happy with that. Of course, I got a new episode to edit. I got to do that at some point. I'll find the time. It's only like a 2-hour episode. I got to edit down, but still. And I haven't played on it since the dragon fight, which was the last episode that will be coming out. I said it would be coming out by the weekend, but I'll probably have to either iron it out tomorrow or Sunday or whenever. Just take some time to edit it when I can. Because I do want to get that episode out, because I think it's a fun one. It's just like the run-of-the-mill end episode, but I do show off my base and stuff, so I think that's pretty important. I was getting a lot of compliments in that stream from the viewers in the Twitch, which there actually were viewers for that episode on the Twitch, and the people who were there liked my base, so I'm glad people like it, and the general builds on the server as well. I'll have to show. I'll have to get that episode out so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm definitely hoping to keep that Newcraft train going. I know I kind of tend to talk about stuff longer than I play it, but I kind of more than I actually play it, but I just don't really have the time right now to commit to Newcraft. And I'm kind of at this kind of point where I can do. I'm kind of pretty, I'm at a level playing field. I haven't done like any huge things that I have left unfinished. I've finished my starter base. We've done the end now, so I can just do my netherite or whatever I want to do now. Get the rest of the trims, that kind of stuff. Because I do have an elytra now too. A gunpowder farm would be a sure welcome addition to Newcraft at this point, I'm sure. Gunpowder is always nice. I mean, it'd be good to have rockets, just so I can get around the server and show things off a little bit. Because the terrain is definitely very mountainous. For those of you who've seen the episode, I mean, it's like a whole mountain range by spawn, so it's a rather cool spawn that I picked. I didn't. That wasn't random. Well, the seed was random, but I picked like the spot in the world. It was just kind of by coincidence. I was really just grasping at straws at that point. I was like already like a half hour into the seed hunt, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna find a good spawn. And I was like, oh wait, I can just decide what spawn is, and because that's what they did in Hermitcraft. So I'm like, yeah, that's a smarter idea. Just find a general area, and I did that. I looked for about like 15 minutes or whatever, and then I eventually did find a seed that looked nice, and I landed on that one. And I think it's pretty nice. And the fact that like the shopping district and a bunch of people's probably mega bases, or maybe not mega bases, but bases at least, are going to be all close together is something that hasn't really happened for us. I know like starter towns are a big thing, and we kind of have a bit of one of those going. But it is cool to see some actual development beyond just starter bases near spawn. I mean like a few, like 100 blocks or few hundred blocks kind of thing. And it's all kind of viewable from spawn too. I'm hoping my base will be viewable from spawn. That's kind of one of my goals for my larger base I'm building. Not sure what exactly the scale of it will be. I'm still kind of conceptualizing it. I will probably assemble it at some point. Well, like at least the plan for it out of dirt. I usually do dirt builds first, as I did in the last episode of Newcraft. I'm gonna do a little bit more on that end of things for the mega base at some point. I don't know if I'll do that next episode per se, like episode 3 or 4, but I'll do it at some point. Probably within the first 10 episodes, ideally. And then I'll try and do more random stuff like shops and adventuring and stuff, because I wanna try and stretch things out a little bit. I don't want to get right to the chase, because after I'm kind of done, you know, I think like a large base is kind of a season or like a world-long commitment sometimes for people, and I like that idea. So I'm gonna try and take it a little bit slow so I can get it. I think that, I mean, it'll bake nicely, you know. It's like the baking terminology, but just let it kind of take its time and form into something that I'm pretty happy with. Because I treat building in Minecraft like art, of course, and I like art, but I definitely treat them very similarly, process-wise. Although I don't really plan. I don't plan in art either. I guess I do minimal planning in art. I guess I do. No, I guess I do about the same amount of planning that I would in Minecraft, which is just drawing rough shapes and things. Wouldn't say I'm super. I do like super detailed stuff beforehand. If it's like something that's crazy, then of course I'm gonna do it. But in terms of like Minecraft bases, though, I'm not like building a huge thing. Well, I guess this case I am, but it'll be fun. I always like the challenge of just doing it, playing it by ear, essentially. Okay, I'm gonna make my bed because I'm a bit of a sitting duck right now. Okay. I didn't even place the crafting table at like the top of the bed today. I was just ambitious. And just placed it. Although you're pretty safe most of the time. You really are. And I peeved myself, or like I peeved, not peed, but I peeved myself. Pet peeve was well, I guess it's not really a pet peeve, but it's just like something that bothered me from this episode. I made another set of shears, and I already have this one. I've been trying to limit it to one set of shears, and I don't feel like just throwing out the shears because I'm like, I want to get my use out of them. And then, you know, I end up with 2 pairs of shears because the first set was like almost broken. I think I accidentally or maybe I brought a second set of shears, or I accidentally crafted another set. And then I did it again last episode when the other set broke. It's kind of my instinct to recraft stuff, but I do have two shears on me, so that kind of defeats the point of that. But oh well. The sheer business aside, sheer business side of things. I gotta write that one down. That one's a winner. I just like to write episode titles down as I come up with them, because there's so many of these episodes that I just, if there's anything in my mind that just makes sense to me at the time, I'm just like, we're going with that. Unless I come up with something better before the end of the episode. I hardly ever name episodes after the fact. I used to actually name episodes before I streamed them. Like I do, like I think Walking to Oblivion was like the actual name for the episode. I came up with that one before I streamed the episode. And then I tried to reference the episode title in the episode, and now I just kind of do it naturally because of course, those episode titles just come to me now. Of course, if it's a no commentary, it might be at the end, but no guarantee. It might just be during the episode. I just think of something. But yeah, I know I guess some more during the Farlands centric discussion. I have been thinking about doing another outpost, or it's kind of a thing like that, some diamond miner outpost. So for those of you folks still watching, let me know your ideas for an outpost, or if you think I should just go for a nice diamond mine one of these episodes and just get it over with and get all the diamonds I need, and then we can just continue in one stream kind of thing. Or I could do an outpost, which would be probably, it'd probably be sooner than later. Now that I've thought about it, I think I'll probably do it before my trip, and then when I get back from or at least like after exams, I can start walking again. It'll probably be a smaller outpost, I'm imagining, because I've done I did 4 last year, 4 whole bases. So it's either going to be a small outpost or just a diamond mine. I'm not sure just exactly at one point. I did say I wanted to decide it before too long, because I run into nice areas every once in a while. I'm like, I should do an outpost here, and when I run into that area, I might just decide to do something. So the clock is ticking. Basically just what I mean, like, is if I don't decide, if I'm like, humming and hawing about it still, when I actually find the spot, I might just keep walking along and just, I guess I'm kind of in outpost mode now. I'm kind of like searching for one now, I think, passively. Or just thinking about it until I'm just like, we'll just go for a little bit of a mining trip. It'd be fun to do a little bit of caving. I could probably do it almost entirely through just caving. That'd be a kind of a fun episode to just caving. Because I haven't done much caving. I do a little bit at the outposts, of course, but... And I guess I've wandered into caves occasionally, get lost into... But no, I've occasionally gone into caves and done stuff, but not. It's only like surface level. So it'd be interesting to do something like that too. Or I could just do like a cave base. I guess that would work well, because I wouldn't actually have to find a cool area above ground. I could just find a cave entrance and just dig down. Figure out some kind of way to get down to Diamond Lair and have like a base down there. It'd be like an all underground outpost. I've thought about that, a cave base. Ooh, that'd be fun. Maybe I've already gotten the idea, but still suggest them though. Still suggest them. You might be able to knock my socks off with a better idea. I think someone actually did suggest an underground outpost when I was doing my last one. They suggested me doing an underground base, and I ended up doing Herebrine's Tower, which was a little bit different to that. But I think the whole point of it was to combine Cherry and Devin's ideas. I only ended up doing, I think it was, I don't remember if it was Cherry or Devin who came up with the Wizard Tower, but it was half Wizard Tower, half Fishbowl. And I never got around to doing the Fishbowl part of it. Probably could have just spent more time there and just done the Fishbowl anyway, but it would have been funny if it was just had like this huge bowl around it. Bowl of glass, but I didn't really feel like doing all that work at the outpost. And then of course there was the Citadel as well, which was the castle. That would have been a fun one to actually have stuck around at. That was like my longest outpost, but I never really interior decorated any of it. I probably won't interior decorate most of my outposts. Like outposts 1 and 2. I guess it was 3, 3 was decorated too. Like the first 3 outposts and nothing more. Beyond like the basics. And then I think I just burned all the stuff from the last, or from like the 3rd outpost. I don't know what I did with the 4th outpost stuff. Because I won't know now because it will all have despawned. And I guess the world also reset since then, but yeah. I remember I did burn the stuff though, but I don't remember what it was for outpost 4. Because I think before I definitely, in my mind, I've kind of got it worked out that I do want to do get my diamonds back, or get diamonds back somehow before I start, going full speed ahead to the Farlands. Well, I'm already going full speed ahead, but I meant like, in terms of like how much time I'm doing or putting into the series. That's really the only way I can get closer now, is just by putting more time into the world, because I haven't been able to do or make a huge time commitment to this series since probably the beginning or the summer of last year. Usually it's every summer, it seems, that I have just a huge excess of time, but things are different, of course, this year since I won't have school. I'm basically in summer mode in late January, so it'll be interesting. Or I guess early February for like the actual the ripples for the streaming, because I won't actually be able to do a whole lot before my trip, and then when I get back from my trip, I'll be doing a whole bunch. I think instead of pre-recording, I'll just do marathon episodes. Maybe I could split them up into episodes. Could have like 2 marathon days, and I do like a marathon. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do like straight up marathons. I don't really know if I want to pre-record. If people actually do keep watching the channel, maybe I will actually pre-record. But like if it was like a few months ago, me where I'd only get like 40 or 10 to 40 views per episode, I was like, oh, okay. And, maybe then I'd be like, I don't really need a pre-record. But now I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe I should. If my episodes are getting like hundreds of views, I don't know. I guess you guys can let me know on that too. I'm just saying. I used to do this all the time, but I know there may be people who are actually at this point. So, food for thought in case it's not too late. If people watching this when I've already reached the Farlands or whatnot, or yeah, I was gonna say if, but it'll probably be a when. I'm not becoming an if guy regarding the reaching the Farlands thing. I'm this far, and I'm certainly down low hoping I get to the Farlands. I did grab a drink. I'm relatively hydrated. I've been actually pretty hydrated since I've gotten my new water bottle. Apparently making it easier to drink. Because, I used to have like a straw. It was almost like a sippy cup. Water bottle. So I think the new one is nicer because I can just pop it open, just, drink like, like a regular old bottle. So it's nice. It's nice. I've been staying a lot more hydrated. Hello. Now let me. Oh, I guess it's almost bedtime here. Let's get our bed placed in just a moment. That's a cool mountain over there. Don't see stuff like that very often. It's pretty jarring. Like it just goes from like 0 to 100, literally. Because the terrain's probably a level 100 up there. Funny jokes. Just cracker jokes, like crazy. I guess I'll walk around. Just look at my coordinate delay. That's only a few thousand blocks. I say that now, but then come back in 10 episodes and it's like 15,000 blocks. I think the worst it was 250,000. Of course, that was because I walked the first 250,000 blocks west towards the setting of the sun. Anyway, for those who are a bit more technical and know about the difference in direction. But technically, I was going west. The Farlanders west, I guess you could call it. But I did eventually switch to the corner Farlands, of course, as I'm still doing now, well over a year later. Why don't you go through the nether? Partially just because the nether is... I mean, like my primary, but my joke reason is it's boring, but kind of my big reason is just that it is more efficient. You'd be right in saying it's more efficient, but it's a lot more troublesome to get through. I've been to the nether twice now, I think, in this world, and I've gone, I think about 30k both times, and it was only like a regular episode's length. You do make a lot more progress, but it was also at the expense of a diamond pickaxe and a bunch of iron gear. I just don't really think it's worth it to go through the nether. It's a lot more perilous. I can't split my attention. Like, I can't like just do other. You kind of put the walking on the back burner after a while. If you've been walking for a few hours, you'd assume that I kind of start to want to do other stuff. So I kind of divert my attention a little bit, but I wouldn't be able to do that in the nether. That's also kind of another thing, is just it requires you to be active through that whole time, and it is faster, of course, like the 8 blocks in the overworld for 1 block in the nether. It's also There's also a lot more threats. I guess you do have infinite food though, even more so than in the overworld. Of course I pick up mushrooms off the ground here, but in the nether, of course, they're much more plentiful. So I guess there's that, but you do have to go back to the overworld every once in a while to replenish. It is possible. People have done it. I just much prefer the overworld. Yeah, long story short, I mainly just prefer the overworld. That's kind of the traditional way to do it. It's the I don't know if I don't even know how I'd put it. Like, I guess it's not like the intended way, of course, but it's like how like a lot of people do it. Just because the nether's a lot shorter and it's different. It's a bit of a different journey compared to doing it in the overworld. Just in terms of like, I guess just the general vibe of things. Be a lot of less episodes. I guess there's that, but. I might go back to the nether at some point, but I honestly never am convinced enough to stay in the nether for longer than like 3 episodes or, around that. Because every time I go, I almost die. I'm not the best at surviving. I've died a lot in this world. I die a lot in a lot of my worlds, so I don't got the best survival skills. I don't think, well, it comes to diverting attention, of course, but also just general ignorance sometimes. Or oblivion, maybe that's a better word than ignorance, because I wouldn't say I'm ignorant, but but no, I think the overworld's just a bit more forgiving is all. It's like almost like choosing your difficulty. I guess you could think of it that way. I just chose the scenic route. I guess the other thing too is that the overworld has varying terrain. I love the varying terrain. I also love the occasional spawners you find on the surface. Whereas the nether, of course, is just the wastes for 1.5 million blocks. I think it's about 1.5 million, if I remember correctly. Because it's like 1.5 million times 8. Yeah, it's around 12 million, I think. 12.5, 13. How long do you think you'll arrive? Getting to the Farlands. I'm not sure. I mean, like, the plan was to get there this year, but also knowing my pacing during like the summer and stuff, because last summer I did a lot more episodes. I guess I do still do like semi-daily, but I did like a lot more time per episode, if that makes sense. I did like more long episodes. So I think if I went back to that, I might have a bit more of a chance of getting there sooner. That's currently the plan after this month, because I still have stuff to do this month, and then after this month I'll just be working and doing other stuff, but I'll be able to do the journey a lot more. So hopefully this year, that's kind of my optimistic thing. Otherwise it might, I don't really know. It really depends where I am at the end when I start getting busy again, like around August, September of this year. We'll see where I get to by then. And then I can probably be a bit more accurate based off that, I think. I'm certainly hoping I can get there soon. I've been doing this since August of 2022. It's already been a year and a half now. But also I haven't really had a real long period of time to commit to this series. I've always had stuff on the side to prioritize. So it'll be interesting to see when this is kind of the only thing for an extended period of time, over half a year. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I said, I'm certainly hoping I can get there at some point soon. Because if it's not this year, then who knows when it'll be. I got a crunch on this series, or else it'll become like Kurt J Mac series. Not to say Kurt J Mac series is bad. It's a really fun series to watch, and all the power to him for doing walking to the Farlands for 13 years. But I don't know if I necessarily have it in me to commit that amount of time to something like this. I mean, maybe, but it would become a lot more casual. I think I'd have to really let this series go and just be like really free flowing with it. I'm still kind of rigid with trying to do episodes. I try to do them daily, but sometimes I just like this week. I think 4 days out of this week I was either working or I just didn't really have a chance to squeeze in an episode. So I just do it when I can and when I want to, mostly. I mainly let that dictate things though for the series. I apologize if I ramble on a little bit with questions and stuff. I think it's partially just because of how I do my episodes. I just like to extend out conversation as much as I can. If it was comments, I'd probably be a bit more direct, but since it's like live and I'm just like got like stuff, I was like, oh, I can talk about this stuff. I kind of stretch it out because you know, after doing it for this long, you kind of run out of stuff to talk about the actual world itself. You kind of just start talking about general stuff like games, other games, and all that. But that's just the way things go. I don't know where that went. Guess I can move some stuff around. Oh, there's a tree buoy here. Yeah, because I'm not sure what my average speeds are. I guess I could do the math. Well, I mean, I think the best way for me to do it is just to do another, what I call experiment. Good luck. I have to go for a certain new phone. Alright, well, it was nice seeing you and chatting. You take care. What was I saying about the, oh gosh, I really do have a bit of a scatterbrain. I swear, it happens so often that I'm talking about something, I get thrown off, or I like talk about something else briefly, and then boom, I'm back, and I'm just like a little bit flustered, and I just forget about where I was at. Well, it's fine. I can think of something else. If people watching, are just like, what is this guy on about? Oh yeah, I was talking about rambling on. I do ramble on, for sure. It's kind of what you have to do when you don't have an audience live, for the most part. Not that I really necessarily want one. I mean, it'd be nice, but I kind of like just having things to myself. Although I guess if I ever got an audience, I might just do like select. I might kind of switch things up and actually record episodes instead of streaming them. But I just stream them because there's not really much of a difference for me, other than of course not taking up disk space temporarily for the videos. But I got room for it if I want to do that. But yeah. Lots of cool terrain today. Definitely not like I see this stuff every episode. There's some stuff you do actually see that's pretty cool. That's kind of unique. Well, I say unique. Pretty much everything you see could have existed before it to some light. Of course, not like exactly the same block for block, but general main gist of things. Like I'm sure there's plenty of terrain like that I've seen in the past 5 million blocks. I only got 50,000 blocks to go to 5 million. Cha-ching. Actually 45 now. So I'm assuming it'll probably be next week that we actually cross over the 5 million block barrier. Ooh. That'll be the first million in a while. Has it been a year? Ooh, that would. Wait, no, 3 million. Where were we at with 3? It was the 16th of August. Oh boy. Almost half a year and 1 million. Meanwhile, I walk like 700,000 blocks a month, or over the summer it was like 1 million. But like I said, it's a slow period for Journey to the Farlands right now. I made that clear after my megasode, or not megasode, my Farland anniversary I did. I was kind of just like, I gotta go back to school. I'm not gonna have as much time. And I was right for about half a year. We'll see what I can do. See what magic, what tricks I can pull to make this series. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Well, I mean, I ideally wrap it up. I think maybe I'll do the outpost. Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about the outpost very much because I was like, oh, am I really gonna do an outpost? But the more I think about it, it's kind of one of those things that once the seed is planted, it's like, it's not a bad idea. But it does mean new diamonds. Or I might even just do like the mining episode. Just do like a small shack and do some mining. Won't really call that an outpost. I don't know. I got like different. I almost got like a different classification system just for outposts alone. Yeah, all that stuff. That would be good. It's also funny. I'm sure someone can like track my hotbar too, because I always move stuff around, and my inventory as well. My inventory is like always like changing, like what's going where. I generally keep like the riches up here, although my materials kind of are shifting right now. But oh well, it keeps things fresh, and it's kind of an unintentional thing that I do. That's kind of funny. Every once in a while, you just see like stuff switch around places. Doesn't really matter, of course, because it's just my inventory. It's just a bunch of junk that I just pull out occasionally. I think the thing I use the least in my inventory. Let me think. That's just something I came up with myself. Maybe the bow. The gunpowder, of course. Mushrooms. I don't use them very often. That's only when I eat the stew. Oh, I'm stopping for this. It's either the bow or the mushrooms because everything else is kind of in constant rotation because I'm always using the shears. I'm always using the compass. I mean, I guess the compass, I use it for what it's intended to be used as. Is just kind of a way to go back to spawn, which I actually don't go back to spawn. I just use it as a guide. It actually keeps me on target without having to use the F3 menu, so that's good. I don't want to use F3 all the time. Oh, the sneak peek. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not all that close, closed doors or close. What's the term? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not all that rigid about displaying F3. Yeah, I could do it as much as I want. Okay, enough. But I can definitely do it. I'm not all that bothered by showing my coordinates. I rather enjoy seeing my progress. Guess I can actually correct my coordinates as well. Ugh. Ah, wondrous. Wondrous. What's coming up soon? I guess it was recently the 1 year 5 months anniversary. Because it was 1 year to August and then 1 year 5 months. Good on me for guessing it. But yeah, about 1 year and 5 months, 3 days ago. I guess there's that. 450 subscribers coming up. I think I'm at 440 right now. I always round 2 in my head, so I might be a few off. 41? Oh yeah, it is 41. Wondrous. Right. I've been pretty content. I don't know why I said contempt, but I've been pretty content with my series lately. I don't really want to do any new things. I feel it feels like all I've done is new stuff. So I'm gonna probably lay off new series for a while. keep it a Journey of the Farlands and Newcraft, I think. I might bring back Stardew at some point if I feel the sole desire to do so. It was like a weekly thing, like hardcore. I mean, of course, there was Mango Pack, which I lost the world for that, so I can't return to it. Nor not with that wood anyway. I lost all my stuff in that world before I lost it anyway. But there's Mango Pack, I guess. There's always, of course, a bunch of different mod packs I can explore. I think I want to save like my big modded series for if we ever do a new craft modded series, which could be fun, like an SMP in a mod pack. Never tried that before. Don't know if it'd be all that successful, but something to look into for me. I know Devin's brought it up a few times. That'd be quite a ways down the line, I'm sure, as this, or if when this series, maybe in between seasons, something like that, like a shorter SMP that's like has like a set timeline, so we actually get crap done on a timeline rather than what we do right now, which is just kind of do whatever because we got time and life gets in the way, but all that. But yeah, it'd be interesting to do like a modded SMP. I don't know about Minecraft Through Time. I don't know if I'll return to it. It'd be kind of a fun series, but I feel like I'd have to restart it with Devin. Because we did do a new Minecraft Through Time episode 1, but I never uploaded it. I was, it's just other stuff it was just a bad timing for that. And I never filmed episode 2, so I just never got around to editing the episode, so I just left it to rot. I don't know if it's actually visible on the channel. It might not be. I don't think it is. But I tried rebooting that. Hardcore Adventures, I'll return to. I'm just saying I'm on hiatus from it for now while New Craft's starting off. And then I might return to it in the future. Although time is going to be rather limited with Journey to the Farlands. If I do commit as much time as I'm hoping to. Things will definitely change a little bit that way. Maybe I will end the episode after the hour. Actually, I was gonna do some no commentary for like another hour or two, but I'm feeling pretty tired. I feel like it's always Fridays that I'm just like, oh, because the week, like the weekdays are just a bit meh, or sometimes, or they're just it's not even that, just that they're crazy sometimes. It's just hectic. So I'll probably take it easy after the hour here. That'll be a good idea. Well, I guess my Twitch stats doesn't display my followers, does it? Or does it? No, it doesn't. I haven't actually seen my followers in a while. Or my follower count. Stats. Oh no, that's a different stats. Epic. It just shows subscribers. Oh, 77 followers. Oh wow. Getting rather high up there with the followers on Twitch. And in case anyone's curious watching who of course doesn't know my process, I do use OBS and I stream onto Twitch directly and then I just export it to YouTube. That's how I do things. I used to use Twitch Studio, but I found that Twitch Studio was a lot buggier for me. OBS seems to have a lot more control over a lot of stuff, so I just use OBS now. And when I did switch over to OBS, I was going to just do straight to YouTube, and then I realized that YouTube categorizes streams differently to videos, and I was just like, no, screw that. And I went right back to Twitch. So I do both right now, because I do the live stuff on Twitch, and then I move it over to YouTube. So anyway, I guess anyone on Twitch too, it moves over to YouTube. I used to archive streams, but I don't bother doing that anymore. I just keep them archived on the YouTube channel, which seems to be good enough for me. I'm sure it's good enough for a lot of people as well. Because it's in my Twitch channel. It's like the first link you see. It's like the link to my YouTube channel. Where all the action happens, it seems. There's a little bit here and there on Twitch. I like just being able to do things live though. And like I said, if the audience stuff changes, like if I ever actually do get a Twitch audience, I might only just stream commentary episodes and just do no commentary as recording. So then people don't just tune into my stream and just be like, oh, it's a no commentary. And then just, you know, I'm losing engagement. So if I do ever get like an actual Twitch audience, I'll definitely reevaluate the way I do my stuff. And I might actually start editing videos. Maybe like minimally editing during the Farlands before I upload it kind of thing. And then having live stream episodes, which will still contribute to the episode count, but they'll be like more traditional. Maybe. Maybe even the recorded ones will be the same as the streams. I don't know. Because I don't know if there'll be a difference in how long the episodes are. Guess I could just record commentary portions of episodes and then the no commentary portion can be a different episode per se. I don't know. I'm thinking too hard about it. I should just not worry about it. You know, cross that bridge when you get to it. Instead of think about how to cross it like a mile, like a few, like, you know, hypothetically at this point, because I don't even really know if I'm gonna get an audience before I get to the Farlands. Because, I mean, basically after Journey to the Farlands, I don't really got much of a reason to stream. not to alarm anyone, but yeah, there is a good chance that I might just step back from streaming for a while after Journey to the Farlands. It's definitely quite the toll on me. Even if I do, like, since I do enjoy it, like, there's a reason why I do it, but I think it definitely does. You know, having streamed for so long, like consistently, you know, I will need a break, maybe a while, and maybe I won't come back. Who knows? I only really came into you know, got into streaming to archive streams of like Newcraft and stuff, and then during the Farlands, of course, I'm archiving that now. And it kind of chronicles the SMPs, which is kind of cool, you know, because otherwise I wouldn't really have a way of reviewing old stuff. Not to say that most of that stuff is worth reviewing, but I can, and you can, I guess. Not that I would suggest it, but it is definitely something, though, which is, it's cool that it's an option. Ah, right. Oh, zombie. Oh, I used my least used. Where did that arrow go? I thought it like went like through the zombie and just hit like the ground nearby. No, but it didn't. We're good. We're good. I'll grab that sheep over there. Come here. Just ominously swim across the. I don't F3 or F5 either very much. I don't really have much of a need to, but it is a thing I can do. You can see my lovely cape. I think that is that the migrator one. I think it is. You get. I think I have 2 capes. Well, my account is old. I don't have like legacy stuff, like legacy capes or anything. I never went to Minecon or anything. I was way too young at the time to have gone to Minecon, I think, when it was like popular. And well, even when I might have actually been able to have gone, but I can tell you some of them. But I don't think I was really that into Minecraft back then. Like, if you asked me like a decade ago about Minecraft, I think, well, I would say good things about it, but I don't think I was like you know, crazy about Minecraft. I definitely got a bit more crazy about it later on. And of course, recently now I'm like batty about it, like with the Journey to the Farlands now. Guess I've made my past self proud, I'm sure. Because this is something that's like right up my alley. I've always wanted to do like a challenge world, and Journey to the Farlands is certainly a challenge. So there's another feather. There's a feather in the cap for me. Nice, kind of a bucket list thing. I don't know if I'd say that's like life in general bucket list. I don't think a Minecraft world is much of a life-worthy bucket list thing, but it's like a gaming bucket list for sure. Like, or a Minecraft bucket list anyway, at the very least. Definitely quite the thing. I mean, I think everyone who's already done the journey to the Farlands can attest to that, though. Is that it's just a fun thing. It just requires a whole lot of commitment, is all. Although I've kind of gotten over that now. Of course, because I've been doing it for so long. It's just like second nature now. Oh, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop or not try any less to get to the Farlands. Cause I've still got that like spark from the beginning of the world that I want to get there. It's just a matter of time now. Really, just the more I stream it, the closer I get. That's all it is. That's the principle of it now. I guess that's always been the principle of it, but it's not always been the focus, I guess. I've been prattling on about nonsense again for 40 minutes. Well, it just happens, you know. I remember when I had a clock in this world too. I think back at spawn I had a clock because I just grabbed whatever TFC had grabbed. I was just like, I don't know what to pack. I probably could have actually planned out what to bring a bit better. Well, I think I did pretty well because I brought a stack of diamonds with me. I think I did. Because I remember mining for like a good 7 or so hours at spawn to get that stack. And I think in before Journey of the Farlands I did that as well. Which is like my refilming of the beginning of the series because I never actually filmed the beginning of this world. I know Tragic, my biggest series, has like 2 months of lost, never recorded stuff, but it's fine. Didn't miss much. A few pet wolves, the spawn base, probably my first reactions to landmarks and things, which I'm sure I was a little bit more lively back then about like landmarks. I was like, oh my god, but no, I'm just kidding. I think I'm about the same, honestly. I still react to stuff, but I'm sure about the same. But I think back then the novelty was a bit different. Of course, at the beginning of any world, there's novelty in just about anything you do. And I got novelty in hunting for the mushrooms, and I got novelty in the first few beds I placed. I was like, oh my gosh, the first few beds. I was like 1,000 blocks, 1,500, 2,000. And I was just like, it just keeps going. And yeah, it was a lot of fun back then. It's definitely different, of course. I think after you do it for a while, that's the thing that you kind of do stuff for a while. You kind of just get used to it. You're kind of conditioned to it. So it's like stuff that other people are like, whoa, and you're just like, yeah, it's just something I do. I think that's just a general thing in life, though. You just get used to stuff, and you're just like, yeah, it's just something I do. I'm sure it's the same for artists, or some artists. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are just like, oh yeah, I'm great, but it's just like novelty only lasts so long for stuff, and then you're kind of just in like the state where you just have to keep yourself motivated. And I've definitely done a good job in that regard for this series. There's definitely a bit of a purposeful effort with this one. There's definitely some purposeful motivation, but there's a lot of natural motivation as well. Now that I've gone 5 million blocks, a year and a half. I mean, at this rate, another year and a half, maybe 2 years from now, would be like a more realistic answer to getting to the Farlands. But then there's school I have to factor in, so it might be 5, might become 5 years, and then it's starting to look more like Kurt J. Max series, 1,000 episodes. No, Kurt's cool though. I watched a lot of those in that 2 months before Journey of the Farlands started. I think there was like the beginning of Doctor Who. I watched a bunch of that. That was like the first few months. Yeah, like first 2 months up to like October of 2022. That whole period, because yeah, it was just the beginning of October that I started filming Journey of the Farlands alongside Newcraft. I just only did Newcraft up until that point, but I watched like Doctor Who, and I also watched Kurt J Max, Farlands or Bust. That's what I'm talking about with like Kurt's series. Got 13. I think it's 13 years. It's gone on since 2011, when this version was the current version, which is wild to me. That you could stick around in the same version for 13 years. That's that's crazy. That's older than a lot of people who watch YouTube nowadays. I don't know about my channel because I say it's not for kids, but I'm sure there's plenty. Well, I mean, 13-year-olds aren't kids. Like if you're younger than 13, I mean. I still call them kids, but even though I'm not super older than that. I'm not like crazy old, but no age reveal. Well, I think I've actually discussed. Well, the things I discuss, it kind of leads people to believe, but I'm not really gonna talk too much about stuff like that. But yeah, no, I still call 13-year-olds kids though. It's kind of funny, but oh, that's crazy though that he's gone for 13 years. Oh, more power to him, really. I think that's amazing. I think one thing is to do the journey itself, and then the other thing is to actually have the commitment to see it through, That's the real battle in the journey, because I'm sure a lot of people have attempted walking to the Farlands and just haven't gotten very far. Or, of course, life happens, like with TFC passing away and his series. Now, of course, he can't really continue his series, unfortunately, but it's, yeah, just stuff happens. So it's, you gotta just enjoy what you can. And if you like it enough, then stay committed. And since this works for me, I'm just hanging on for dear life as life passes me by, or time passes me by, I guess is a better way to put it. Because when I started this series, it was a year and a half ago. A lot was different with me, like as a person. I think you develop a lot around my age range. I'm not saying my age. Finished high school. I'll put it like that. Finished high school. But yeah, at that point, that's like a very titular point in your life where you kind of start to form into like the person you are for the rest of your life. So, like kind of the final shifts and things with the brain development. But yeah, it's just lots of change, lots of stuff, lots of fun for sure. It's been a fun while. It's also been that's just what it is though. It's fun, but it also has its downs. But what can you do but just sit along for the ride? And I guess that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going along for the journey here. And yeah, you guys are of course welcome to stick around or just tune in every once in a while whenever. Really, I'm not really bothered about people not watching episodes. I don't think people need to watch every single episode of mine. But anyway, we're at an hour here. I'm sure if I did any more walking, I'd probably start getting actually tired. So I'm gonna go while I can go to bed early and whatnot and relax. Today's a very relaxation based evening. Or I guess this evening's very relaxation based. Gosh, I'm rambling. Okay, I gotta do my outro. Thank you guys for watching the episode.